Hi guys, today we're gonna be doing some fitness breakfast and I've kind of lost count on how many, but they're gonna be super healthy and super delicious and fine for a whole family or serving size for one so you can make it just for yourself. So the first thing we're gonna do is a 2-minute microwave egg mug. It's kind of like a scrambled omelet. So you just need any mug, good size mug that can go in the microwave and just spray it with cooking spray. And then I have leftover broccoli, about a half a cup, and about a half a cup of spinach. I'll give you a tip on the spinach. I buy the fresh spinach in hopes that I'm gonna eat lots of salads, and then when I haven't and it's still there, I throw it in the whole bag in a freezer bag and throw it in the freezer, and then I can crunch it up. And that's what this is. So I'm just gonna pour both those things in here. Probably need a scraper. And I'm gonna microwave these two things together for 1 minute. Other choices you could do, tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, bell pepper, any kind of veg that you like, and it can be frozen, pre-chopped for you, or leftover, or fresh, whatever you want. Okay, 1 minute, be right back. Okay, there it is, my cooked broccoli and spinach together. Now the spinach released quite a bit of water. I think I'm just gonna pour off a little bit of that. It probably would be fine, but all right. Next, I'm gonna crack in 2 eggs. These are gigantic. You can do whatever you want, or 3 works too, depending on what you want your macros to be. 2 eggs gets us to around 16 grams of protein, and then I'm gonna add cheese, which will add another 6 or 8 grams of protein, depending on the kind of cheese you get. Okay, now I'm just gonna stir this up. You could use a fork. And this is gonna go back in the microwave for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, I might need 1 minute on this just because my eggs are so big. Okay, the egg has started to cook around the outside, but it's still really liquidy in the middle. So I'm gonna stir this up, and this is the time I'm gonna add 1 ounce of shredded cheese, and then salt and pepper too. And it's gonna go back in for 1 more minute. All right, this time you can see it's mostly set now because my eggs were so big and because my spinach was a little wet. It's not quite all the way set, so I'm just gonna stir it again. I think the stirring is the secret to even cooking. And then I'm gonna sprinkle about a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese on top and a little black pepper for color. I'm gonna throw it in for 30 more seconds. Okay, so my egg scramble is all done. It's really, really hot, but the Parmesan cheese is melted on the top and there's even distribution of veggies throughout. Oh, it's so hot. I'm afraid to try it. Mmm, has such good flavor. To me, breakfast is the hardest time of day to get your veggies in, and this is a really good way, and you can make it any way you want. Any kind of veggie. You can add Italian seasoning, you can add Southwest seasoning, put some black beans, corn in there. You can do whatever you want. Okay, the next one is gonna be a super fast microwave egg McDonald's style sandwich. So the first thing we're gonna use are these 100-calorie Thomas English muffins. And I'm gonna split this and pop it in the toaster. Then while this is toasting, I am going to crack an egg in here after I prepare it with spray. Now it is up to you if you want your egg yolk broken or intact. I'm just gonna break it a little bit. Now the one thing about this recipe is this egg might splatter in the microwave. The other one doesn't really because you whip it up so much, but because it's somewhat intact, this will splatter. So I'm gonna put a cover on it and microwave it for 1 minute, and I'll be right back with my toasted bread and my cooked egg. Okay, after 1 minute, the egg has cooked up all fluffy and it's set in the middle. And because I sprayed it, it's not sticking and it's good. Okay, this is toasted. I'm just gonna lightly butter the English muffin. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of butter in total, super light. Because my goal is weight loss, I don't need the extra calories. I'm gonna add the egg. See how it's the perfect shape? I use that larger custard bowl from Pyrex to make it the perfect size. And then I'm adding a slice of the Fit and Active 2% milk cheese. So it's 45 calories a slice. You can use real cheese. I guess this is kind of a processed cheese, so use whatever you want. It's fine. A sprinkle of Parmesan would be fine too. All right, and then to boost the protein, I'm gonna add some nitrate-free ham. And then for veg, I'm putting on a handful of spinach leaves. It's so fast. And look how delicious that is. If you don't have the spinach and ham, just make it with the egg. It's hard to get all the way into the egg. That's a good one. Hi guys, next we're gonna do a waffle sandwich. I think this is so fun and my kids like to make it too. So I've preheated my waffle iron. I'm just gonna spray it real quick with nonstick spray. And I have 2 eggs. Now this is gonna fill both halves of the waffle iron. And it does not take much time for that to cook. All right, I'm afraid I should have buttered my bread already. So for bread, I have the 0 carb bread from Aldi. This is in the regular, they also have a seeded version. And it's pretty spongy and light. I don't mind it at all. I've heard lots of negative reviews about it, but I think it's really good. I like how thick it is and how filling it is. The other option I have is the Sara Lee Delightful bread, and Aldi's has a version of this too that is good. And it's thinner, but it tastes more like actual bread. It has the texture of bread. I'm gonna lightly butter both of these. Ooh, I smell my egg. Oh yeah, see, they're done. Okay. I'm gonna flip those out onto a plate real quick before they overcook. Okay, now we can rest. Just relax. Okay, this time I'm using about a teaspoon. I don't know, that's about a teaspoon per side, not a lot. Okay. Oh, here we go. Salt and pepper. Oh, I need cheese, I put it away. I'll be right back. Okay, it's just the same processed 45 calorie cheese I had before. You can use real cheese if you prefer. I think pepper jack is especially good. So I'm putting the bread buttered side down on the waffle iron. Then adding my cheese. I'm gonna cut these in half and slap an egg waffle on each one. Whoops. And then salt and pepper. You can add meat here too if you want turkey or chicken or something sliced on there. Okay, I'm gonna carefully close it, try to keep my sandwich intact, and let that grill, and it will be toasted in about 2 minutes. All right, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's check and see. All right, this is the 0 carb bread version, and you can see it's perfectly toasted on both sides. And here is the Sara Lee Delightful bread version. And side by side, the 0 carb one is a little bit thicker of a sandwich. And this one has 40 calories per slice of bread. And this one has, I think it's 45, double check. Yes, 45. So the thicker one is a little lighter in calories. They're both delicious. I'm gonna just cut them in half so you can see the center. Okay, so when I've been eating everything we've made so far off camera, I finished it all. So I'm not gonna take a bite of these, but you can see that was the Sara Lee, and this is the low carb bread version one. All right, so altogether, the egg is 8 grams of protein, the cheese is only 3, and then the bread, the Sara Lee bread, how much protein here? Looking, 10 grams, nope, 5, because they're counting both slices, 5 grams in that, so it's about 16 grams of protein, and the low carb bread has 10, so it's a little bit more, so if that one was 16, then, oh no, math, 21 grams in this. Okay, I choose the 0 carb one. That's better. Okay, enough of that. Next, we're going to do a pumpkin spice oatmeal custard. Okay, here we go on pumpkin spice oatmeal custard. We're gonna start with 1 cup of milk of your choice. I use vanilla unsweetened almond milk, but any milk will work. And then I'm gonna crack in an egg, and this is the custard part. And then to this, I'm gonna add just a dash of salt. And a ½ teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice blend. Kind of a heaping ½ teaspoon, that's my favorite part. And a ½ cup of pumpkin. Now, as far as sweeteners go, you've got some choices. So I am going to use 1 tablespoon of the Locanto Golden Sweetener. It's monk fruit based, it's erythritol based with monk fruit extract, and then it's made to be like brown sugar. They don't say, it just says erythritol and monk fruit extract. So I don't know what's different that makes it brown sugar, but it's really good. And then the other option you have is after you cook it down, you can stir in I use a ½ scoop of the ProFlex 20 protein powder in the vanilla. You can use any protein powder that heats well. Some protein powder curdles when it heats, and this one's good. This one is a dairy based, it's whey based, but it is low in lactose. So I am gonna add that too. I like my oatmeal kind of crazy sweet, and then I'm gonna top it with sugar-free maple syrup too. I love sweet stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead with the tablespoon of that. And then I'm gonna grab my whisk and beat this together really, really good. This is 1 serving. Yum, all for me. Okay, once that's mostly mixed, I'm gonna add a ½ cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. And then I'm gonna cook this off camera. You can add vanilla extract, maple extract. Sometimes the more stuff we add, the more complicated it gets, the less likely we are to actually make it. So this is fine, but add what you want if you'd like to make it a little depth of flavor. Okay, I'm just gonna put this on the stove over medium heat. I'd show you, but my stove is disgustingly messy and I don't want you to see it. So I'm gonna go cook it off camera and then I'll show you what it looks like. It takes about 5 minutes, but I will time and let you know for sure how long. All right, here we are. It was exactly 5 minutes and that won't show, but I whisked it pretty much. I don't know if I stressed that enough. I whisked it pretty much the whole time because you don't want bits of egg to cook faster than the custard. You want it to stay emulsified. Okay, I'm gonna plate it up for you. Such a huge amount of food, and it does get thicker as it cools. So if you prefer your pumpkin flavored things cold, throw this in the fridge. It'll be just as delicious that way. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. Have this tomorrow. Okay, I didn't show you, I meant to show you what it would look like to stir in the ProFlex, and I do want the, okay, I'm putting it back in the pan. I want that protein for tomorrow. So by itself, it just really has about 10 grams of protein between the almond milk and the egg and the oatmeal. Uh-oh, I have someone at the door. I'll be right back. That was just the UPS guy, who I love to see. Okay, 2 scoops of this has 20 grams of protein. I'm gonna do 1 because I don't need I've already got 10. So my goal for my meals is 20 grams of protein total in the meal. So if my protein source was only the protein powder, I'd use the whole thing, but okay, so you can see it just kind of melts in and like nothing happened. No grittiness. It adds a touch of sweetness, which is nice. A little bit of vanilla flavor, which is one of the reasons why I did not add vanilla extract either. Save some money that way. It's a lot of food, guys. I have to admit that while I was cooking down the oats, I ate half of one of those sandwiches. For some reason, I'm a hungry girl today, and this is why I am as big as I am. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. At least it's healthy food. Okay. All right, I kind of messed up my bowl. Next thing I'm gonna do, swirl on a little bit of sugar-free maple syrup, and then 1 tablespoon of chopped pecans. Well, that wasn't as pretty as I was hoping it would be. I just kind of threw them all in one spot, but you can make it better. If I was plating this up for company, I'd throw on some dried cranberries too, just for color and extra fall. Pomegranate seeds, wouldn't that be yummy? Pomegranate seeds. Okay, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge. I'm gonna taste it first. I have no spoon except measuring spoons, but here we go. It's just the right amount of sweet. It almost tastes like dessert to me, and it's so good, but I will prefer this cold. So I'm gonna have it tomorrow. All right, this last recipe is the easiest one of all. No cooking at all. It's just stir and go. It is maple pecan apple Greek yogurt. So we're gonna start with just plain Greek yogurt. And if that's too hard, just grab one of these Oikos 000. They've got all sorts of flavors. Pick one that you think will go well. And you can do 6 ounces or 8, depending on how much protein you need. I'm gonna do this one in 6 ounces, since I will need to eat it right away. I'm so excited about this, actually. Okay. Maybe I'll just hold it for a couple hours in the fridge. That'd be okay. All right, 6 ounces has 18 grams of protein, which is not too bad. I'm gonna sweeten this with about 15 drops of the vanilla cream sweet leaf stevia drops. All right. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit, just a few drops of maple extract for that good maple flavor. Ooh, that was a lot. Hopefully that's fine. And it's gonna turn just a creamy color instead of being as pure white as it was when we started. Ooh, it smells so good already. Oh. Okay, next I'm going to drizzle on some sugar-free maple syrup, and I'm just gonna swirl it in. I'm not gonna stir it in fully, just so it's like streaky in there. This is the Walmart brand, great value. It has no NutraSweet, and it has 15 calories for 2 tablespoons. Okay, I'm just gonna swirl. All right. Next, I'm gonna chop a Fuji apple. Use any kind of tart apple that you like. And usually about half is actually a lot for this recipe. And that doesn't mean you can't just eat the other half on the side. I mean, go for it. Nobody got fat from eating apples. Now, they might get fat from eating all of the food that I made today as one meal. I will try to hold myself back. And then the crowning glory, 1 tablespoon of chopped pecans. So yummy. I still have no spoon. I'll just use my trusty measuring spoon again. Ooh. this might be the best one of the whole time. So enjoy, and let me know in the comments if you try anything, or if there's some additions or changes you would make to the recipe. I'd love to try something new.